said, I wanted to talk to you guys really quickly about something that has really been helping me lately to get myself out of that negative spiral of stress thinking that we all can very easily fall into. So, the anxiety, the self-limiting beliefs, the worrying, oh my gosh, so-and-so doesn't like me, or I did this wrong, or I did that wrong, or I'll never be able to do this, I'll never be able to do that, blah, 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 right? And we spiral out of control, and it just turns into this whole terrible, nasty, low place to be in, right? Do you know what that feels like? If you do, please let me know in the comments. And so honestly, like with me just getting really honest and vulnerable with you guys right now. So something that I really struggle with is, especially with my coaching, right? Because I've been coaching now for about a year and a half, like running my business for about a year and a half now. And since it's a newer venture, I still worry all the time. I worry that I'm not saying the right thing, or the things that I'm saying aren't resonating with people, or, I'm not providing enough transformation, or, with my live videos, I'm annoying people, people don't want to see these posts. They think I'm annoying or preachy or this or that, right? And I tell myself all these stories that isn't helping anyone, right? And then it becomes that much harder to like come from a place of, I'm just trying to help you, instead it's like, oh, like me, right? And so, if I don't get a lot of feedback, or I don't get a lot of likes, on my posts or something, I can really easily fall into that thought spiral of people think I'm annoying, I'm not saying the right things, I'm not helping people enough, all those things that I just said, like instantly. And that's something that I'm working on. I really shouldn't be needing validation from other people to feel good about what I'm doing, right? Like that has to come from within me. So that's my current journey, is figuring out how to provide myself with that, right? Hey, Cassie. But so something that is really working for me when I feel myself start to get on that spiral and just telling myself all these stories is I will literally pause and say, okay, what is the story I'm telling myself? Right? And then it's easy to kind of take a step back and start to look at your own thoughts, right? Like start to actually observe your own thoughts. What is the story that I'm telling myself? And then I'll figure that out. And then I'll say, now what else could be true? Hey, Tanya. Right? And so this is such a helpful way to just pause, take a step back, and then look at what's going on from another perspective. So when that happens and I don't get enough feedback or something, and I start to worry, oh, I'm a terrible coach and I'm not helping people and they hate what I have to say and blah, 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 blah. Whoa, okay. What is the story that I'm telling myself? I'm telling myself that I'm a terrible coach and that people don't care about what I have to say, or I'm not saying the right things, right? And that's why I'm not getting the feedback that I want. Okay. Now, what else could be true? People are busy and they just haven't watched the video yet. Or maybe people love what I have to say, but they just feel nervous commenting on my posts, right? Or maybe most of the people don't care about what I have to say, but maybe one person does. Maybe it literally made a difference in one person's life. That feels really good to me, right? And so then from there, I've just gotten myself out of that spiral and I can see other perspectives and I can drop it. And instead of sitting in that funk and just telling myself these terrible, terrible words and these terrible stories, I can actually look at it from a positive perspective. Right? What else might be true? So many other things could be true. And so that's something that you can do as well as you're working towards your goals. Or, it's so easy for people to say, oh, well, I'd love to lose weight. But, it won't work because of this reason, this reason, this reason, this reason. Or, I want to start eating healthy, but I just can't because of this reason, this reason. Okay, stop. What's the story you're telling yourself about that? What's the story you're telling yourself about eating healthy and why you can't? Right? And then what else might be true? Maybe you can, right? Maybe it's easier than you think. well, I'd love to be healthy, but I've tried all these things in the past and it's just never worked. So it's definitely not going to work this time. Okay, what's the story you're telling yourself? That it's never going to work for you. If that's the story you're always telling yourself, of course it's never going to work for you, first of all, right? So then what else might be true? That it might actually work this time. That maybe doing it differently, thinking about things differently from a new perspective might actually be that one thing that you've been missing. And now it will work this time, right? Maybe this simple shift is the one thing that will make all the difference. Is that making sense? Is that resonating with anybody? If so, I would love to hear. Just let me know. Tell me like, yeah, that's resonating with me. I tell myself stories all the time. So really just getting honest with yourselves, realizing the stories that are on replay, the stories that we are telling ourselves, and then realizing that that's just a pattern. That's just a habitual thought pattern that we've built up over time. And it's not true. It's just worries. It's just fear-based thinking, right? And then we can actually get ourselves out of that. And then the more that we do that, then we start to build new, healthier thought patterns, healthier thought habits, right? Thinking of things from a different perspective. Instead of worrying about what's not going to go right, we get to say, hey, that's a story I'm telling myself. What else could be true? Hey, maybe these things will go right, right? Instead of thinking about what's going to go wrong, think about what might go right. Does that make sense? So let me know. That, like I said, it's been really helpful to me lately it's a really quick little process, but it makes the world of difference on the thoughts that you continuously tell yourself and the feelings that you have in your body when you do so. And just that simple little exercise can make the difference between sitting in a funk for the rest of the night, thinking I'm a terrible person and like, what am I doing with my life? And actually just dropping it and moving on to the next thing, and thinking about what are the next moves I can make coming from a place of love, right? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And like I said, I'll be seeing you guys again really soon. And I hope you're all doing well. Bye.